Coco Peace, hello my loves. We can get through this, but have a happy birthday. So today I thought I would film for you guys an updated foundation routine. I have one way back from like 2 years ago when I first started my channel, and I have switched things up a bit, and I'm kind of liking how it's looking at all that kind of good stuff, so I thought I'd film an updated one for you guys today. It's going to be long and rambly, so I'm just going to jump into it. And yeah, let's go from there. So Murphy's Law, when I sit down to do this, my face is like breaking out and red and splotchy, but this way you will see the full transformation. I'm going to start with my Bioderma Pore Refiner. I have a review on this guy, or a rave I think, on this guy that I can link down below. And yeah, I use that to fill in my pores, to control sort of the oil production, and I feel like it's been helping my makeup last longer, look better, and yeah, just good stuff. When you put it on, it goes on quite silky. I found that recently, I was watching, I think, Jaclyn Hill's video, and she was saying that she's really been liking the Nivea Aftershave Balm, the one for men that Nikki Tutorials raves about. And they both said that if you just apply this, sort of that one, without letting it, like working it in, letting it get tacky, it's not as good of a primer than when you let it get tacky. So I have recently been using that technique with this guy, and it makes it even that much better. So if you pick this up, then try that and see how it works. Next step is my MAC Strobe Cream. That I also have a rave on this guy. I've used it both mixed into my foundations as well as on its own as a primer, and I tend to like it. I'm just putting everything on the back of my hand and then mixing it in, or blending it into my face. So I've used it both ways. I prefer it as a primer. I'll use sometimes my fingers, sometimes I use a stippling brush. This one's by Real Techniques. And I will blend that into my face. I should also mention that this isn't like a low-key, low-coverage, daily, out the door kind of thing. It has become kind of high maintenance. Like, my face routine does now take a lot longer, my face makeup routine, than it used to. But I'm kind of like a full face or no face for the most part. There are days that are exceptions, but I'm usually a full face or no face kind of girl. And so if I'm going to go all out, I'm going to go all out. But this is not for everybody. And so take it for what it is. Okay, and if that wasn't enough steps, I'm going to take my my Hourglass Mineral Oil Primer and use that on top. I just find that this gives a kind of blurring effect to the face. And I've tried doing it without, just doing it with the Strobe Cream and the Bioderma, and it just doesn't quite look as good as when I mix all of this concoction on my face. I probably poured out a little bit too much. You don't need this much. Yeah. I also have a review video on this one that I can link down below. I think it was actually one of the first videos I ever filmed when I was in London. So I was still trying to figure out like where I want to put my camera, and I don't think there was anything in the background quite yet. And yeah, so that's that. Okay, and then I will take whatever foundation I'm using. So I've just depotted the last bit of my Illamasqua skin base into this Nuxe container. I will take, what brushes? So I love the IT Cosmetics brushes. There's this one that was a limited edition one, shaped like a heart. I think it's the Love is the Foundation brush, or the Velvet Luxe 302. I have a review on this one that I can link down below. I like dense, fluffy foundation brushes. Because this is potted, I've been just making sure that my hands are sanitized and grabbing it this way. Otherwise, usually I will put some on the back of my hand and then go from there. And then I start from like the center of the face and move outwards. And yeah. I know that people love and adore the beauty blenders, or sort of the Real Techniques one. I've tried the beauty blender. I think I have a video, I think it's still up, where I sort of do a battle of, oh my gosh, this brush is so soft. My issue is that I really like the way that a brush feels in my hand, and I like the process of applying it. Like, it's fun for me to apply as I spit everywhere. getting too excited. Foundation with a brush. I also don't like the hassle. Like I can't get myself to use a beauty blender if I haven't washed it in between uses. And the energy required to do that is a lot more than it is the energy required to spot clean a foundation brush. So I prefer a brush, but you could use a beauty blender too. Noelle loves the Real Techniques beauty blender, and it works for her. That was a long ramble to just tell you I like using a brush. Yep, it's the mood we're in today. Okay, so next step is to do some under eye concealing. I love this one by Collections, which is a brand out of the UK. I haven't seen it outside of the UK. But when I run out of this one, if I am not able to repurchase, this one is in shade 1, which is always sold out because people love it. If I'm not able to repurchase this one, the MAC Mineralized concealer is really lovely. I find that I need something, I don't have sort of offensive dark circles. I have fine lines though, and I need to brighten. So I like those two, this one and the MAC one. Taking my the Balm Blend a hand brush and blending it out. I find that I need something more emollient because otherwise it ends up settling too much and too quickly into my fine lines. Neither of these don't settle, but it's just because they're nice and emollient and more moisturizing than something a little bit more like a cream. I find that it helps with that. So did that ramble make any sense? Probably not. Okay, and then I set that right away. I'm going to take MAC Emphasize. This is from the Rocky Horror collection. It's a duo, but it's got MAC's Emphasize in the top there. And then this is a NARS, what number brush are you? 41. I just like it. It's nice and dense, and I think it's actually made for eyeshadow, but I use it for this. And a trick that I learned from my friend who's a makeup artist is to pack sort of the powder in and go backwards. It's supposed to help with creasing throughout the day and all that kind of good stuff. So that's the technique that I have been using for as long as I can remember. Okay, and the last step that I've been recently adding is to add a powder foundation to set everything. I found that especially on areas where I have breakouts, it's nice to set it with a powder foundation, A, because it lasts longer throughout the day, and this is the Too Faced retractable kabuki. And B, because when I'm doing the rest of my face makeup, like my bronzer and my blush and stuff, I'm blending a lot in those areas where I have that breakout, or those sort of acne scarring. And so by having set it, my foundation moves less as I blend the additional products onto my face. And so it stays more flawless, more in place, and all that kind of good stuff. And that is it, you guys. What do you think? It's high maintenance, it's a lot of steps, but it's been bringing me joy. And when I want to put on a full face, I start with a base. So hey, that rhymed. Let me know what steps you guys like taking, or products that are indispensable to your face makeup routine and all that kind of good stuff. I'm gonna do some points of positivity and I will be done. My first is a really productive day, which made me very happy. My second is getting a text with a friend I haven't heard from in a while. My third is some good news I heard from my sister. So as always, please share with me what's making you guys smile. I've got the rest of my face to put on, and I'm gonna put on some lips on camera and they get ready with me this week. So thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you have an awesome one. And before I leave you, as always, let me remind you that life is just way too short to wear boring lipstick. Bye guys.